I'm on my way to the Afton Gap to camp tonight, and coming from Beatty, Nevada. I was in Death Valley, then went up to Beatty to Spicer Ranch. It's an interesting bike. And I'm going by Wonder Hussey's hangout. So the highway goes that way toward Baker, that those bikes go. And that's, how do you say it? Tecopa down there. So I thought, hey, let's drive through there and see what it looks like. So that's the town of Tecopa where Wonder Hussey has their compound. So that way is Death Valley, just back in the town of Shoshone. About 5 miles that way is the turnoff to Death Valley. The desert is awesome. Okay, and this is also the old Spanish Trail. Wonder Hussey made a video about that, about how comes a big truck. About how this was the way if you went from Los Angeles to Salt Lake, or even New Mexico or something like that. This is the way you went, and there was, you went from waterhole to waterhole type thing. Anyway, let's head down there and see what it looks like. I just drove through the northern part of Tecopa, the town. I think there's two parts. There's this part on this side of the hill, and then on the other side there's another part of the town of Tecopa or something like that. Cute little town, but I wanted to take a little hike up here and see if I can get a view of, looks like Tecopa Lake has water in it. And as I was driving into town, right before I got to town, oh, look at these wildflowers. As I was driving right before I got into town, quite a few cars were pulled off the side of the road. And there's I don't know if it's a wildlife refuge or something like that. I wonder if it's a bird flyway now that there's water in the lake. But I'm guessing, because of the wet year we had, the lake has water where normally it wouldn't. My legs are sore from the long mountain bike ride today. Okay, here we go. It's good enough. So there looks like there's several hot spring bathing areas, campgrounds, as I drove through town. And then there's the lake, or the marsh. It's kind of a lake, I guess. Let me zoom in on that. That's where I drove in right there. And back there you can see those, I call them loess-il, windblown soil deposits on the, right there, that bank right there. It looks like something you'd see in what's the province in China, on the Yellow River, where they build their houses in there near Xi'an. Anyway, that's this side of the town of Tecopa. The relief in the desert is amazing. So all these mountain ranges, this is called Basin and Range, same way Death Valley was formed. The big sections are are tilting up. Let me see if I can put my hand in here. They're tilting up like this, and you have a valley on this side, and then the next range would tilt up there, the valley, then the next range. So you on this side, it's like a, just like a sheer drop off, and that goes all the way across towards Colorado. You have the basin and range type terrain, and the what's this called again? I forget. The area between the Sierras and Colorado. Someone will know. Oh, look at that. What's that on top of the hill? Looks like some old railroad tanker cars. Okay, let's get back on the road. I just came over Ibex Pass. It's a little over 2,000 feet, and it's right at the San Bernardino County line. And now we're headed down to Baker. See those big sand dunes down there? Zoom in on those. That's somewhere near Baker, I think. Baker's like 900-foot elevation, so we got a pretty big drop coming in front of us. And back that way is the Afton Gap, or whatever it's called, where I'm going to camp at tonight. Don't see any water in the lake down there from the runoff from the Mojave River yet, or if it even happens this year, but I think it might, because there's a lot of snow in the watershed above where that feeds the Mojave River. Okay, let's get back on the road. Taking a break, guys, and I thought I'd point something out to you. Here are some transmission lines oh, by the way, that last spot I was at, looking down on those sand dunes, that wasn't Baker down there. Baker is about 10 miles that way. In fact, I think that's it right there. I don't know if we can see it, but anyway. Here at this spot, there's these transmission lines going from somewhere to somewhere. They could be going, well, they could just be providing power from west to east and east to west. FERC, I forget what that stands for, Federal Energy something. Anyway, electrical power. Well, we have to get it from somewhere, and when we're not getting it from local power plants, we buy it from somewhere else. Or if we generate more than we need to sell it somewhere. So that's what these transmission lines do, is spread power across the western United States. So what is interesting about these lines is there's 3 sets of lines here on our right and 1 on our left. The 3 on the right are 3-phased alternating current. We can tell that because there's 3 power lines for each tower. 3 there, 3 there, 3 there. Those 2 towers actually have 2 conductors per phase, and this one only has 1. And if you look at let's get a closer tower here. Okay, so if you look at the insulators, roughly each one of those, what do you call them, a knob or whatever, if you add them all up, let's say each one of them has the ability to insulate 12,000 volts. So just add those up, and that will tell you roughly how much voltage is going in that line. It might be 500,000, and it looks like these 3 are the same. Now this one's different. Look at this tower. There's no, I guess that's an insulator on it right there, but there's only 2 lines. There's 3 conductors per line, but there's only they're not phases. This is direct current. And direct current is, you can hear the crackling on the alternating current tower, but you can't on the direct current. There's no crackling. Let that car go by, because the current isn't alternating. So it's a lot more efficient to transmit power over long distances with direct current than it is with alternating current. But the higher the voltage, of course, the less current you need to get the same amount of power. That's why these are very high voltage lines. But with the direct current, again, you would be high voltage. You don't have the losses, line losses, like other than the resistance in the line and not the reactive losses. Don't ask me what all that means. So yeah, there's 3 alternating current lines and there's 1 direct current line. This is probably tying Los Angeles to Las Vegas and probably all the way to Salt Lake City. Who knows? It'd be interesting to find out. Okay guys, I'm at the turnoff for Afton Canyon. Yeah, this is something I've always wanted to stop and check out. There's a campground down there, and it's about 6 o'clock now, and the sunlight's good to kind of show what's going on. So this is Interstate 15 going to Las Vegas and coming back from Las Vegas. A lot of inattentive drivers, to be honest with you, when I was on it. Anyway, why is this special? The Mojave River comes from Lake Arrowhead area in the San Bernardino Mountains, and this year there's a lot of snow up there, and it flows all the way down and through Barstow and then through the Afton Canyon. It gets narrow right here, and this is what the rail line goes through there, because the rail line has to run fairly level, can't go up and down, undulate like the Interstate 15 can. And so this is a narrow spot. And then if the Mojave River was flowing, it would flow into the dry lake bed there by Baker, and I didn't see any water in the lake. It was a long time ago, but I remember it was a wet year and there was water in the lake down there and the river was flowing. Maybe it's too early yet because the snow hasn't melted yet, but anyway, I've always wanted to just check it out, so I figured this would be a good spot to camp for the night and then head home tomorrow. So let's go down and see if there's a camp spot.
In 800 feet, you will arrive at your destination.